to be the best, simple and plain. That's why I played the game. To be the best, you have to win. And that's what drives me.
He's the best player in the game. It's just that simple.
Yo, what it do, good people? We is back with another vid. I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and spam that comment section. Y'all know the slogan. Y'all know somebody that need a helping hand and you can lend one. Please do so. If you got children in your immediate family that need some guidance, please lead them into the right direction because the children are the future and it's always each one teach one. Now let's get into this video. Gilbert speaks on the day that his son had the Cybertruck car crash. Well, the Cybertruck crashed when he ran into the tree.
Like, did you hear? Like, nah, you know.
Give me 1 second.
He's doing good. You know, like that first, you know, the first couple hours, you know, it's like, damn, wait, what's going on? Because, you know, I'm up, right? I'm up at 4:30 working out, and you know, every time I wake up, I look on my app to see where he's at because you know he has Cybertruck, so I can see exactly where he's at. What happens is he's usually at the gym, come home, sleeps for about an hour. Then I got to wake him up and then take, Alani, his brother, to school. Right. So that's been the routine. So, I'm looking, okay, he's at the gym. Okay, cool. So working out. Then, Hamani called his sister. Is like, did you hear? Like, nah, your son got in an accident.
And to get a phone call like that, not knowing how serious it is he okay? You know what I'm saying? That'll mess a person's head up. You get a phone call out the blue like that?
But at the gym? Like, no, he was driving home, got in a car accident. And I'm like, no, his car is at the gym. And she's like, boy, he's at the hospital. We're heading there now. So I'm like, oh shit, okay. So because she's never up that early any goddamn way. So the fact that she's hitting me, I'm like, okay, maybe. So I just put my clothes on. I said, give me the address. Went straight there, and sure enough, I'm like, what the? So I go back to the car, like, so once talk to the doctors, and they're like, this is what happened. So me, I'm checking anything broken. The first thing is anything broken, right? Head. It was like, so far it doesn't look like anything is physically, from the outside, structurally wrong. We don't think he hit his head. A couple scratches on him, right? And I'm thinking, okay, maybe he got pulled out, rolling on the ground. And it was like, yeah, smoke, in his lungs. So I'm like, okay, all right. It could have been worse.
Absolutely.
So from there, it's like, all right, what's going on? There's nothing I can do now because now I need to check the scene. Where's the scene? Who helped him and get out of the car? So now I'm doing all of that. Went to go see his car's not there. So I went to the address, and seeing this, knocked on the people's door, put a note on there, just trying to fill in all the pieces of what happened, why I didn't get alerted. But, long story short is, the car, malfunctioned on them. The steering wheel went limp and ran right into a tree. But
so they got a lawsuit. If that's what really happened, they got a goddamn lawsuit. Elon, they coming for you, bro. They coming for you, bro. That's crazy. We gotta hear that again. That's crazy. That's fucked up right there. You driving and all of a sudden malfunction on you? Yeah, okay. Y'all can have that Cybertruck shit. I don't want it.
Long story short is, the car, malfunctioned on them. The steering wheel went limp and ran right into a tree. But like once he got his personality back, which is once they took the drugs out of him, right? Our jokes came back and like, man, boy, you almost went extra crispy on me, man. Right? You almost went extra crispy, dog.
Because you said that, so those windows are bulletproof. He couldn't break the window.
He couldn't break the window. And
so he was stuck in a car that was on fire.
Yeah, and I had to, I have his phone. I had his phone, got his phone. So I seen that, when people are like, oh, he fell asleep. I'm looking at, he's on the phone. Right, he's on the phone with 911. I'm trying to get that call. He was on the phone with them for 10 minutes. So I know he was at least in the car for 10 minutes. Right. And it's, once he started, talking and, doing all that, just realized he couldn't break the window, start doing all the back search on the car. And, it's, if you're a parent and your teen has this car, you might want to put a hammer in that joint.
Something to be able to
something
break
that
the
can
window.
break the window, because physically,
Not strong enough.
he said he was trying to kick the door, the window, and he couldn't. Damn. And, I said,
Just imagine being in a situation like that. The car is on fucking fire. You can't get out. Stuck in that motherfucker. I know he was pleading for his life in that moment. I know he was pleading for his life. Elon, you got some explaining to do.
I told him, I said, man, I'm gonna just be honest with you, because when he got home, we had flowers for him, and I gave him that speech. I said, listen, you're a lucky one to see this.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't get to see the flowers and how everybody reacts when something happens. So you get to witness what the world did when you was sleep, when you was in an induced coma. So this is what's supposed to make you great, that you watched life that could have just ended. Right? You can't take this shit for granted.
Hell
Everything
no.
I be telling them, like I told him, I said, man, like, me, it's with little things, man. Yeah, man, it's 10 o'clock at night, man. You driving your girlfriend home. Why? You are the money. Put her in Uber. You leaving here at 10, 11 o'clock, driving her home. She's safe. Then you got to drive. You are the bank.
Facts. Now he got a point with that. Get her Uber. She get home safe.
You should never leave your home at a certain time. It doesn't make sense. There's nothing out there. The worst cops in the world
are waiting on you.
They log in at 10 p.m. They know that's when the shit happens. That's what they want. So the most aggressive minds are active at that time. They can't tell the difference between who you are when they pull you over. So don't even put yourselves in the situations, right? So we have them talks, but sometimes kids are all hard-headed.
Shit hits.
And I'm like, I said, hopefully one day the example that wakes you up doesn't hurt you physically, emotionally enough where you can't succeed. Right. So one thing that he wrote that kind of like made me tear up was when he got conscious, and he got the right, and he wrote, does my dad know? Right. Like, damn, you know what I mean? So, and then when, they was like, he's up, he's looking for you, because I was at home. And then, he was like, well, where's my dad? And then when I came in and he gave me that I'm sorry look, and, I'm like, just
come
like,
on, bro.
You good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's you a lucky one. So, when he's seen the flowers and stuff, and I'm like, man, people don't get to see what the world, the whole neighborhood, people that I didn't even know in the neighborhood,
Right.
They used to dropping flowers off into it. I'm like, man, like, all these people. And then he wrote, like, I want to meet the people who saved me.
Man, I know he's still recovering, so hopefully speedy recover for Elijah. Hopefully he can get back out there and ball like he's been balling. Man, prayers go out to the family for having to go through that, especially Gil getting that phone call out of nowhere. So I know it was kind of like, he feeling some type of way, because he like, man, my son at the gym, what you talking about? But it just show you how in a split second life can change. And it's crazy. They need to do some investigation on why the steering wheel went out like that, because he could have died, like literally died. So if that was the case and the steering wheel malfunctioned, they got a lawsuit on their hand. And like I said, Elon Musk got some explaining to do. I don't think this is the first time something that severe has happened. I don't think that's the first time. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Elon Musk, you got some explaining to do. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We the People TV. Go.